Hey, can you wiggle your fingers? How about wiggling your toes? Wiggling your toes is a minor aspect or a minor functionality of having stronger feet. The feet play a major role in your balance, strength, and even cognitive function. For instance, according to reflexology practitioners, massaging your toes, specifically the bigger toe, can lead to increased memory function. And let's talk about why for just a brief moment. The thing is, with your feet, everything that is in your body is mapped out on your feet, at least according to reflexologists. Therefore, in the back of the big toe, the base of the big toe that connects to your foot, if you massage that once a day, every day, it'll apparently help you with your cognitive brain function because it is specifically linked to memory, at least in that area of your foot. So, as we know, the feet do play a major role, and here at General Fitness Company, we focus a lot of our training on making more functional patterns. We don't just lift weights, we actually train the body to move in the most effective and efficient pattern possible. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get in touch with our toes with a few foot and ankle exercises. All right, so we start off the day with the toes. I like to get those toes moving because out of the ankles, feet, and toes, that is the one that gives you the most sensory input on the firmament you're standing on. So I like to move them individually, meaning that I move the big toe as well as the other toes individually. Uh, Obviously, I don't, as you could see earlier, I didn't move every single one of the smaller toes individually. I don't even know if that's possible. Let me know if that is possible, but I try to separate a big toe from the other toes because I feel like the big toe has a little bit different role than the other toes. The big toe is like more for gripping and has more control over your arch, whereas the other four toes have more of control over your balance, kind of keep you centered. But that's just my opinion. I don't take that for law or whatnot. So now we're moving into our toe pulls. It's a little bit of a misnomer. I just call them toe pulls because that's the closest thing they look like. But essentially, what I'm doing here is that I'm just trying to separate my toes and giving myself a little resistance. So I'm right now I am pulling the toes inward. All right, so I'm pulling the toes towards my center, and I am trying to resist outward. All right, so I'm just giving a little bit of resistance, just getting those toes moving, getting some blood flow circulating to those tendons and ligaments in the toes, so they can do a little bit more work later on through the day. Now, these are great exercises to do in the morning time, especially if you're going to go for a walk or something like that. Just get that body, flowing or whatnot, and get that blood flowing through the feet and toes. All right, so now we're gonna go the opposite direction. You see here, I'm now pushing outward on the toes. Same thing. I am now just giving myself just a little bit of resistance. It's really not that much resistance at all. You don't really need that much resistance with your toes. So I'm just literally just putting my hand there and trying to push my fingers with my toes rather than actually trying to pull my toes with my fingers. We're just finishing off here. Looks like we're just got a couple more toes left here, and then we're gonna move on to some ankle work. So I'm gonna let you enjoy this, and we'll see what we got next. All right, so yeah, now we're just wiggling those toes, feeling that flow here and on the toes, getting that blood flow in there. And as you can see here, we are starting to do some pointing and flexing. So I'm pointing and the pointing the toes away. I'm trying not to ball my toes up, as you can kind of see. As like a few times as balled my toes up. I was trying to literally just trying to point my toes as far away from my foot as possible, trying to get my foot as close as I can to the floor, or the bottom of my foot as close as I can to the floor, and then following that up by pulling my toes in, trying to pull my foot as close as I can to my body. So essentially what we're doing here is just getting some ankle mobility, getting those ankles moving forward and back, getting that flexion and dorsiflexion. And up next, we're going to be doing some side to side getting that lateral mobility here in the ankles. Now you see I'm trying to keep those toes facing up the whole time. The goal here is just really just get the ankles working, not necessarily the whole foot. You know, I'm not trying to like get the toes involved in here too much. See, this is why we try to separate everything. We don't try to have everything rolling into one. Everything is segmented in these exercises, just so that we can kind of feel every single part of our body moving. Now, these don't take that long. As you can see, this video is probably extended just so you can see exactly how these work. But every day I try to do something like this. If it's not this specific thing, something similar, and it takes me probably about 5 minutes max. So not that big of a deal if you want to get your ankle mobility stronger so that your body can stay more stable, because obviously if you're like lifting or whatnot, you know, there's a lot of people that do things like lift a lot of weights, or they do CrossFit, or they do even aerobics classes that don't do these things beforehand, and you know their body suffers because their ankles and feet are not ready to support their body. So when you wake up in the morning, I would say, you know, this is be the greatest time to do it. Just 5 minutes that you dedicate to yourself. As you see there, we just finished with some ankle rolls, just getting those ankles in a circle, trying to do both at a time, and one at a time, and trying to go in the reverse direction. Just like I said, it's just a matter of just getting that mobility in the ankles. It doesn't matter how far you can go. Obviously, as you do, the more you do, the better off you are with your mobility. But it's nothing that is going to be super serious that is going to be a detriment to you. And it's also not going to be something that is going to extremely increase your lifting. But it's one of those things that over time, if you don't do it, you start to see the repercussions of it, as well as if you do it over time, you notice that you'll be able to last longer in terms of your workouts, whether it be walking or lifting. Your feet will be healthier and happier. You'll have more blood flow to your feet. You might even notice that your nails and your feet just look a little bit stronger and a little bit happier, just because you're getting that blood flow into your feet. And as I said in the intro here, as I was talking about what we do here, it's important to be able to do these things because it helps you with not only your balance, but your strength. So I hope you enjoyed those last few exercises. Those are some exercises that we do here at General Fitness Company with our clients. They're really beneficial with helping strengthen the feet and ankles, and of course, helping you with your posture and limiting injury. If you have any questions, or if you try them out at home, feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep good company.
That's awesome!